Two contenders in the NL Central on this gorgeous day from the north side. You get a good look at the surrounding neighborhood around Wrigley Field. Nothing quite like day baseball inside the friendly confines, and we're set for the Cubs hosting the Houston Astros here on WGN Sports. This four-game series is tied up at 1 apiece. The Cubs have dropped back into second place, a half game behind the St. Louis Cardinals. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to the ballpark. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. A bizarre series so far. Cubs won in 13 Monday, lost 11-6 last night, and they got to find a way to retire Miguel Tejada.
I think the entire National League is looking for a way to retire Miguel Tejada. Big game for him last night. Hit a huge home run for the Astros. This guy leads the National League in hits, in doubles, in multi-hit games. He's second in batting average. One thing you know for sure when Tejada comes to the plate, something's going to happen. 402 at-bats. He's only struck out 30 times. He's only walked 13 times.
That's really the whole lineup for Houston. They have a lot of good veteran hitters in this lineup, and certainly Carlos Lee, another guy who's had a lot of success against the Cubs. Both guys in the lineup today against Randy Wells.
Randy Wells been pitching the ball really well lately. Carlos Lee is a guy in this Astros lineup that's given him problems in the past. You see what he did against the Reds on Friday, a victory in that ballgame.
Mike Hampton will go for Houston. It's been a half-decade since he last pitched in this ballpark.
Yeah, Mike Hampton, no secrets with this guy. A sinker, a cutter, and a straight changeup. That's basically what he uses.
Now down to the field and our national anthem. We're set for Cubs baseball from Wrigley Field. We'll have the lineups, the first pitch, and game 3 of this series coming up next.
Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. The Illinois Lottery. This summer, lottery tickets get a second chance to win $35 every weekday. Visit IllinoisLottery.com for details. Have fun, play responsibly. Comcast. Catch more games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
You're watching the Chicago Cubs on WGN TV, your official summer baseball station. Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition is sponsored by Comcast. Still waiting for the Cubs to take the field. And just as I say that, here they come behind rookie right-hander Randy Wells. And let's check out the Astros 9 against Randy Wells. Bourne, Keppinger, Tejada. 2 and 3 in that lineup had huge nights last night. Carlos Lee in left. Jeff Blum's going to play first today. Hunter Pence in right. Pudge Rodriguez catches. It's Kaz Matsui at second base hitting 8th, and Mike Hampton really can handle the bat. He hits 9th.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Randy Wells, brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Soriano with a couple of nice defensive plays in left field last night. Johnson in center, Bradley over in right. Ramirez and Terrio on the left side of the infield against the left-handed starting pitcher. Jeff Baker gets a start at second base today. He'll be flanked by Derek Lee over at first base. Who else? Coy Hill once again behind the plate. He's been an Iron Man. He'll be doing the catching for right-hander Randy Wells.
Trying to become the first Cubs rookie to get to 7 wins since Kerry Wood won 13 back in 1998. Jerry Davis is the crew chief. Born in St. Louis, now lives in Wisconsin. Buckner, Everett, and Gorman around the bases. Partner, for me, this is as good as it gets weather-wise. It's not hot. It's a very mild day, but just ideal in the sun.
A nice cool breeze blowing in off the lake. Wind blowing pretty much straight in from right field today. Probably extremely comfortable in the sun, maybe a little nippy in the shade, but a great day for a ball game.
And a good start. Fastball for a strike on Michael Bourne. 3 hits, 3 runs last night. That really set everything up for Keppinger and Tejada, who combined for 8 RBIs. The 1-1 pitch is in there, 1 and 2. 70 degrees.
All the great hitters in this Astros lineup. Did you ever think one of the guys you'd be more worried about is Jeff Keppinger? What a game last night.
Outside, 2 and 2. Both teams making roster moves because of all the innings the bullpens have had to take on in the first 2 games. Out into the left, holding up for Soriano for the first out. Cubs swapping righties. Mitch Atkins coming up from AAA Iowa. Jeff Stevens going down, and it's nothing Jeff Stevens did or didn't do. It's just he's been the busiest guy in the pen. He has options. Get a fresh arm up here, at least for the next couple days, and it's Atkins who has really struggled at Iowa, but his last start was 5 days ago, so he is available.
That's the key word, available. Jeff Stevens was not going to be available for a couple days because of the workload he's had recently, and you had to get a fresh arm up here just in case.
0-1 inside to Keppinger. The Astros purchased the contract of one of their top prospects, right-hander Bud Norris from AAA Round Rock, and they sent out an infielder, Edwin Masonette. They didn't want to send out a pitcher because they need pitching. Terrio throws out Keppinger, 2 outs. They also get Doug Brocail back from the disabled list.
That old saying, when it rains, it pours. It seems like that's as true in baseball as any other aspect of life. You got a bullpen that's a little dinged up. You get a short outing from your starting pitcher. You have to patch together a bunch of innings out of the bullpen. You got one guy going on the DL with shingles, another with appendicitis. Yeah, it's pouring right now in that Astros dugout.
Corey Oswalt left with a back strain and was scheduled to head back to Houston to be examined today. And Wesley Wright, you just alluded to, went to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, was treated for dehydration. He was experiencing discomfort in his abdominal region, symptoms similar to those caused by appendicitis. 1 and 2 on Miguel Tejada. So Wright will not be available today. Ground ball foul. Wells trying to quickly get through this top of the first inning and not have to face Carlos Lee. 2 and 2. Last 7 times out, 6 wins for Randy. That backs up Jeff Baker, who makes the play, and they do go 1, 2, 3. Cubs are coming up. Reed Johnson will lead it off against Mike Hampton. By Pepsi, and the lineup brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. Johnson, Terrio, Lee at the top. Ramirez, Bradley, Soriano in the middle. Baker, Hill, Wells rounding it out.
Let's take a look at the Astros defensively today. Carlos Lee, Michael Bourne, and Hunter Pence once again across the outfield. Jeff Keppinger moves over to third base today. Miguel Tejada leads all National League shortstops in games, total chances, double plays, assists. He's only made 3 errors in his last 53 games. He'll be at shortstop. Kaz Matsui at second base. Jeff Blum moves across the diamond to play first today. Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate for veteran left-hander Mike Hampton. '18th start of the season for Mike Hampton. Giving up much better than a hit an inning. Not a big-time strikeout pitcher anymore. I mentioned earlier a sinker, a cutter, a changeup. He'll throw an occasional curveball, but basically he works off of that fastball.
2-2 this month with a .573. Starts Reed Johnson with a strike. Mike Hampton has always pitched well at Wrigley Field, but it's been a while. 2004 the last time he faced the Cubs here. He lost to the Cubs in Houston on May 6th. 6-3 the final. And through a lot of injury problems the last few years. And he's with the Astros for the second time in his career. Hit hard but foul by Reed Johnson, who went 0 for 6 in the opener atop the Cubs order, and last night got one chance off the bench and had a pinch hit 2-run single and a stolen base in the 4th inning as the Cubs were coming back. It is July 29th and we're starting to hear about some interesting deals. A couple of days away from the non-waiver deadline. It's not much of a deadline anymore. There will probably be a plethora of activity in the month of August. But once you get past Friday, you have to pass all the players through the waiver process before you make a deal. The Pirates and Mariners making a trade. Jack Wilson and Ian Snell going to the Mariners, and a bunch of players headed the other way, including former Cub Ronnie Cedeno, who's been in a terrible slump. 0 for his last 24, but I would imagine, Bob, he'll take over at short with Jack Wilson now in Seattle.
You would think so. I mean, we've seen the Pirates a lot this year, and I haven't heard of any shortstop prospect that's in line to step in for Jack Wilson.
A 1-2 single to right for Reed Johnson.
Well, good at bat that time by Reed Johnson. Really battled some tough cutters in on his hands. He pulled foul down that third base line. Finally got a pitch out over the plate and shot it into right field for a single.
It is also being reported the Phillies have bolstered their starting rotation and bringing over left-hander Cliff Lee, who won the Cy Young last year with Cleveland. That's a huge deal.
And as part of that deal, going from the Phillies to the Indians, a real good-looking young catcher named Lou Marson, which could possibly pave the way for a Victor Martinez trade. Cleveland has been shopping their catcher/first baseman Victor Martinez, one of the best hitters in the American League over the last 8 or 10 years.
Hampton with a look at Johnson, and now a throw. One thing about Mike Hampton, even if he struggles on the mound with his pitching, he's an excellent defender, former Gold Glover, and he can really hit. So he does help himself in other areas. Terrio will pull that one down the left field line, and Johnson will end up at least at third. He's going to be stopped there. All right, the corners with no outs, and the heart of the lineup coming up. Actually, second and third. No outs on the Terrio double.
cutter that Mike Hampton left right in the middle of the plate for Ryan Theriot. Just does keep it fair down that third baseline. And the fans may be thinking Mike Quade should have sent Reed Johnson home, but not with Derek Lee, Aramis Ramirez, and Milton Bradley due to the plate. Nobody out. You better be real sure that runner can score standing up.
Houston will concede the first run of the day to get that first out. Not that deep. Pence with a really good arm. Johnson tags. He's going to try to score, and he will. Throw to third. Safe there. Theriot got in. So 2 for 1 for Derek Lee. Moves both guys up. Johnson sliding in safely, and Theriot getting to third.
Mentioned the great throwing arm of Hunter Pence out in right field, and he wanted to showcase it right there. Probably would have been better served as far as the Astros are concerned, throwing to third base right there, but he tries to airmail it all the way to home, and because he overthrows the cutoff man, Ryan Theriot able to advance to third base with 1 out in the inning.
The first inning's been a big problem for Hampton. The infield now in, and Ramirez hits it foul. His ERA in the first inning is 9.5, and after the first, it's under 4.
You mentioned his fielding prowess out there on the mound as well. He has 1 Gold Glove award in his career, and unfortunately for him, pitched in the same era as Greg Maddux. Otherwise, he might have had quite a few more.
Base hit into left. Ramirez knocks in Theriot. 2-0. The Cubs today, even though they were 4-1 to start the homestand. It's only the second time they've scored first.
Pitching coach Dewey Robinson for the Astros has been trying to encourage Mike Hampton to throw more 4-seam fastballs. It has a little more velocity than his sinker or his cutter, and gives the hitters a little bit of a different look. He's really relying heavily on that cutter here in the early going, and the Cubs are all over it. There was a 4-seamer at 91 on the outside corner.
Bradley playing right, batting 5th. Kick, and the pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Milton Bradley with pretty good career numbers against Mike Hampton. 5 for 17 with a couple of walks. That's a .294 batting average.
Hampton beat the Mets his last time out. He actually defeated Johan Santana, hit a home run that night. In the dirt to make it 3-1. Mike Hampton would like to face the Pirates all year if he could. He's 4-0 against the Pirates.
That last start against the Mets that you mentioned against Johan Santana, he didn't actually pitch that well. 5 2/3, gave up 8 hits, walked 4, gave up 4 earned runs, but came away with a 5-4 victory.
You walked him. Let's check out who's moving forward with Toyota. Alfonso Soriano has 18 homers this year. 6 of them have come against the Astros, tied for the most homers for one player against any opponent this year. That's today's Toyota moving forward thanks to Toyota. Last night, Soriano snapped his 10-game hitting streak, during which he batted .405. Deep drive to left. Soriano sending Lee back near the track and gone. Just got it out in about the third or fourth row. And a 3-run homer, and it's 5-0. That's his 7th homer against the Astros this year. Seeing a lot of power from the middle of this order here in the second half.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's one of those pitches. As a pitcher and a catcher, you wish you could get it back somehow. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 371 feet. Well, from the instant that ball left Mike Hampton's fingertips, he knew nothing good was going to come of that. Cutter once again right in the middle of the plate. Boy, is he hot.
Five zip after 6 batters.
And the one out was a sacrifice fly that played it a run.
(3-0) on Jeff Baker, and yet again, if you're Cecil Cooper, you sit there and you scratch your head. I mean, there's not a whole lot he can do. He's not going to get somebody up in the first inning after what has gone on the first 2 days of this series. And Baker walks. Louis Robinson will have to come out to the mound.
Probably telling Mike Hampton, look over my shoulder. Do you see anybody warming up in the bullpen? You got to figure out a way to right the ship here.
Soriano won the game the other night with a 13th inning grand slam. A 3-run homer today, making it 5-0 in the first inning. Popped out of Rodriguez's mitt, but it was called a strike on the Iron Man, Coy Hill. 19th straight start. Damon Berryhill was the last Cub to start this many consecutive team games with the Cubs. And that was 20 years ago, 1989. He was back there 25 straight times.
I think the Cubs had an injury to Joe Girardi that year, and Rick Rona, the young backup catcher, I don't feel they felt very confident putting him behind the plate, so Damon Berryhill became the Iron Man.
Gets past Rodriguez. It'll allow Baker to move into scoring position. Wild pitch charge to Hampton.
Saw Pudge Rodriguez come up with that glove, leaving that 5-hole wide open. That ball just skidded underneath the mid all the way to the bricks.
Tapped foul right to Mike Quaddy, the third base coach. Cubs were in first for a couple of days. The Cardinals are back atop the division after winning the first 2 games of that series against the Dodgers. Tonight, Clayton Kershaw and Joel Pinheiro. The middle base hit. Baker coming around. The throw is going to be cut off by Blum. 6-0. Corey Hill trying to get up into the 200s. Went into that at bat at 198. He notches his 11th RBI of the year.
quick swing that time by Coy Hill. Snapped that ball right back up the middle of the field through the wickets of Mike Hampton. Throw to the plate was going to be laid anyway by Michael Bourne, but Jeff Baker chugs around. It's a trick slide in there at home plate. This is fun.
Wells lays down a bunt. Hampton will tag him. Fourth sacrifice for Randy, and Reed Johnson will step in for the second time already this inning. So the 2 outs have been a sac fly and a sac bunt. The Cubs are 5 for 5 in the inning. Ouch. About the only thing that hasn't gone right this entire half inning.
You see a lot of that when Hampton has his good cutter working. When that ball is working down and into the right-handed hitters, you'll see a lot of guys fouling balls down that third base line or off their front foot. Still trying to shake it out a little bit.
Missed away. 1-1 on Johnson. Foul off to the right. Embarrassing moment for Hampton a couple starts ago in LA. It led to a run, tried to slam the ball into his glove and missed. Thought time had been called, but that wasn't the case.
I've seen that happen one other time. Former Mets relief pitcher, current Atlanta Braves pitching coach Roger McDowell got a little frustrated and got a ball back from the umpire and went to slam it into his glove and threw the ball into foul territory down the third baseline.
Michael Bourne out in center, battling the sun, and he found it. To end the inning, the Cubs sent 10 to the plate and score 6 times, helping out Randy Wells early. A guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25, and a portion of the proceeds benefits Cubs designated charities. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Called strike. Former Cub Moises Alou is in the house. It's low. 1-1. At the knees. Good slider by Wells. 1-2. Moises, a part of that 2003 playoff team. Battled a lot of calf injuries late in his career.
Well, he could hit.
Nice play, Ryan Terrio. Didn't get him on the tag. And Derek thinking maybe Carlos Lee did not get his hand in on the bag, but he did.
Terrio showing some nice range going up the middle to keep that ball out of center field from our southwest sky cam. Wheels around, looked in pretty good shape at that point, but his throw tailed back toward home plate, and Carlos Lee able to get underneath the tag of Derek Lee at first.
It's an error on Ryan Terrio. His 12th error of the year. We've seen Jeff Blum at third base. He's playing first today, and for Chris Coast. This is Blum's first start at first base this season. Lance Berkman is on the disabled list, so is Darren Erstad. And Coast got the nod in the first two games. Double play ball. Baker, Terrio, Lee. There's 4-6-3.
Kind of a revolving door out there at second base, but Jeff Baker with a nice backhanded toss to Ryan Terrio. Doesn't seem to be any adjustment problems for the Cubs shortstop Terrio. We've seen Blanco play a little second base. Mike Fontenot's played a lot of second base, and more recently Jeff Baker getting a lot of starts against the left-handed pitchers.
Lou basically platooning Fontenot and Baker these days. 0-1 to Pence. The Astros wrapped out 17 hits and scored 11 runs last night. But it's a new day today, and they trail 6-0. Lou with the self manicure. Doesn't need any tools. Three and one. Cubs with the 6 first inning runs. That's a season high in the first inning. Last time they got 6 in the opening frame was April 30th of last year against Milwaukee. It's a 2-out walk. And it brings on Pudge Rodriguez. Only game going on right now in all of baseball. Everything is at night. There are a few games on the West Coast later this afternoon, including the Pirates and the Giants. Zach Duke and Matt Cain, great matchup there. Roy Halladay scheduled to start for the Blue Jays in Seattle amidst all the trade rumors. And you have Laffey and Lackey, Cleveland and the Angels.
Harry might have had some problems with that matchup.
It would have become Lafkey.
Lafkey.
One and one to Rodriguez. 0 for 8 in the series. Randy's pitching on normal rest. Might get a little more time. A couple of turns down the road with an off day in Colorado. He's a rookie pitcher. They're going to watch his innings here in the second half. 6-0 Cubs early. From Inverness. For more information on how you can be a Walgreens celebrity bat kid, go to WGNradio.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. You know, Jack was born, they called him Baby Ruth.
Yep. They might still call him Baby Ruth. Eventually they'll shorten it to Babe Ruth, and he'll go on to set all kinds of home run records.
Well, we're in this very same ballpark as the Babe Ruth called shot in the World Series, Wrigley Field. Let's see what the Cubs offense has up its sleeve in the second after plating 6 in the first against Mike Hampton.
You know, I had a few called shots in my career here. They were across the street at Bernie's, but
oh yeah.
I found it was a lot easier to do it that way than actually call a home run and then hit it.
Right. There'll be a lot of called shots in this area as the day goes on. Terrio bounced it off his foot. The thing about that first inning, Reed Johnson made the final out, but he led it off with a hit. Everybody contributed, 1 through 9. Every single batter in the lineup did something positive. I don't know if I've ever seen a first inning quite like that, where nobody made a quote unproductive out.
Well, until the final out of the inning, sac fly by Derek Lee, a sacrifice bunt by Randy Wells. Everybody else either had a hit or a walk until the final out of the inning.
Like you always say, somebody has to make the outs. Hunter Pence will make the catch. Well, it would make sense that this sort of thing would happen in this series, but it actually happened recently at Dodger Stadium. So they get a run, and I think Hampton thought the umpire called time here. Puts the ball back, slam it into his glove, and another run came in.
That's when you know your command is bad, and you can't throw it from your bare hand into your glove and hit your target.
One strike on D. Lee, who had a sac fly for his 65th RBI in the first. There's a fly ball, medium depth and right. And actually now back a little ways, about 10 feet in front of the track for Pence.
Yeah, probably the wrong direction to hit balls in the air today. We mentioned that wind blowing pretty much straight in from right field, occasionally across from right to left, but it's going to be tough to hit one out of here that direction, especially for right-handed hitters.
Ramirez with an RBI single. Has a 7-game hitting streak. He's 14 for 27, batting over 500 during the streak. He's had an extra base hit in 6 in a row. Big Z goes from camera to camera.
We used to call Kurt Schilling Red Light Kurt because he always knew which camera was on him. I think Zambrano might inherit that title.
That's golf deep to left, and this is going to go for Ramirez. Oh, man, on to Waveland. That was a 3-iron. His 9th homer of the year, 7-0.
Maybe your 3-iron, my 3-iron would have gone foul. Well, rocket off the bat of Aramis Ramirez. Hampton making a lot of mistakes in the heart of the plate, and that one down right where Ramirez likes it. Dropped the barrel of the bat on the ball and got it way out of here. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 394 feet.
7-game extra base hit streak. Bradley bounces left side, picked up by Keppinger, who throws him out. Ramirez with a 2-out line shot homer on the Waveland, 7-0 at the 2. Cubs fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape for up-to-the-minute stats and info designed to give you everything you need during the game. WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game. It's brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Switch hitting Kaz Matsui fouls it off to make it 1-1. Ramirez with the Cubs' second home run in as many innings. And the lead is now 7-zip. As Randy Wells tries to make it 7 wins in his last 8 starts. Had an 8-5 victory on Friday against Cincinnati. Gave up a 3-run homer to the pitcher Aaron Harang in the second, but that was it over 6 innings. A 2-2 pitch. Matsui was late. Makeup game tomorrow because of the May 15th rainout, and we'll have it right here on WGN. Russ Ortiz, Kevin Hart. That's their first hit out into right center. And normally a pitcher would be asked to bunt in this spot, but Bob, with Mike Hampton hitting .313 and the team down 7, I don't think he will.
I don't think so either. I think they'll probably give him the green light to go ahead and swing away. It's going to take a whole bunch of base hits and walks and other things for the Astros to get back in this ball game. Playing for 1 run in the 3rd inning of a 7-0 ball game doesn't figure to make much sense. But we'll see how Cecil Cooper chooses to play.
As we suspected, only Carlos Zambrano has more homers among active pitchers than Mike Hampton. Dontrelle Willis, excellent hitter. Juan Hernandez with 9 blasts, can handle the bat well. Topped off the plate as it kicks foul. 0-2 to Hampton. He didn't hit a lot of homers early in his career, and then he became a Rocky and found the power. Cubs won in 13 innings in game 1. The Astros used up a lot of their bullpen last night and beat the Cubs 11-6. Ground ball to third. They get 1, but not 2. Well, we have a chance. Let's find out what's coming up on WGN. Hampton takes over for Matsui at first, and it's Michael Bourne who flied to left to start the game. Astros got Bourne from the Phillies prior to 2008. He's from Houston. He'll get 1, and Terrio dropped it, but he was pulling the ball out of his glove to make a throw. So Hampton is out at second, and no chance to get Bourne at first.
Really no such thing as a tailor-made double play with Michael Bourne running, but if there ever was one, this is it. Randy Wells gets the ball to Terrio in good shape. He just can't find the handle on it as he crosses the bag. Bourne able to leg it out for a fielder's choice.
Wind still pushing everything in from right and toward the left field foul pole. One to nothing to Jeff Keppinger. Played second base in game 2. He's at the hot corner today. It's cued and a nice play by Randy Wells. Takes his time and fires a strike to Derek Lee. A leadoff single but no runs. All Cubs early. Bottom 3, 7-zip. Cubs on TV. You can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer. And catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Alfonso Soriano already with a 3-run homer. As the Cubs lead 7-0. Hampton's 0-1 delivery is a bit outside. They have Hampton against Soriano. Both guys doing something that's pretty rare in this game, and that is signing a contract of 8 years. With Hampton, it was with the Rockies early part of this decade, and Soriano signed an 8-year deal prior to 2007 to come to the north side of Chicago. As you recall, the Rockies signed not only Mike Hampton but Denny Nagel to a long deal. I think his was 5 years, 51, something like that. Called strike 3. And it's Hampton's first strikeout.
Yeah, that was in that period of time when the Rockies were still trying to figure out exactly what kind of pitching staff they needed at Coors Field to consistently win some home games. They went through a period where they got a lot of power pitchers. They went through a period where they thought sinker ballers were the way to go. Little did they know that the humidifier was the way to go.
Baker pops out. And it brings up Coy Hill, our first cloud of the day. That doesn't look too intimidating, no. Hill with an RBI single in the first. There's a pitch. 2-0. Coy's up to 205 with that hit. He began the day at 198. Bourne turning all the way around, now getting set, and that's the first 1-2-3 inning for Hampton. But he trails 7-0 as we head to the fourth from Wrigley. Downtown at Wrigley Field, Clark and Addison. Cubs 7, Astros nothing. Been a good homestand. Kosuke Fukudome comes into play center for Reed Johnson. Makes you wonder if, obviously, makes you wonder if there's an injury, but he's had some back issues, spent some time on the DL.
And his second at bat in that first inning, you may remember he fouled a ball off his left foot,
yes,
limped around, and took a long time to get back in the box. Maybe that's it.
That could be. Tejada with a leadoff single. Having a little fun with Jose Cruz Sr., their longtime first base coach.
Well, with the offensive season Tejada's having, he's had plenty of opportunities to talk to Jose Cruz down there at first base, or at least say hi on his way past.
One and 0 to Carlos Lee. Reached on an error in the second. Okay, now we know who Miguel Tejada was likely pointing at. I say salute. Lined to right, and Bradley makes the catch. Blum hit into a 4-6-3 double play in a second. Won the game last night with a home run in the seventh. Got a nice letter from John Delius from St. Augustine, Florida. Thanks for checking in, John. Not hit very hard. They'll get one. That's it. Fielder's choice for Blum, 2 outs. I send out happy 30th wedding anniversary wishes to Co and Dottie Kramer, Goshen, Indiana. Also wanted to say hello to Irene I wish I could pronounce the last name. Magdziarz from Claremont, California. Sent us a nice note.
Time to take a look at our high-def shot of the game, sponsored by Comcast. Hunter Pence is listed at 6'4", 210 pounds. 205 of it is above the knees. If this were a Western movie, you'd get a posse together to go look for the rustlers that stole his calves. Cubs baseball in high def is sponsored by Comcast.
Nice.
I tell you, he can move those skinny little calves pretty quickly when he's on the bases or patrolling right field for the Astros. He's a good-looking athlete.
That's off the handle. Pence didn't even know where it went. He caught it, foul ground, inning over. Randy Wells has looked good today, 7-0.
been all Cubs offense in this game against Mike Hampton. 6 runs in the first inning on 5 hits. A solo run in the second on the home run by Aramis Ramirez. And Randy Wells, the Cubs pitcher, will lead off the inning.
Randy Wells just doing today what he's done most of the year, and that is keep the other team off the board. Only Jay Happ of the Phillies among rookies has more wins in the National League. Happ has 7. Wells trying to get to 7 today. 5th in the NL among rookies in innings pitched. Ground ball near short. Tejada throws him out.
And it's time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. You know, Len, we have a great time at the ballpark every day, and so do our camera operators. Jim Chianis out in center field having some fun with the fans in the bleachers today. That's a true case of monkey see, monkey do right there. Come on, Jimmy, put him through the paces. There you go. That's today's Have a Ball. Thanks to our friends at the Illinois Lottery. I didn't know Jimmy had that kind of power over the fans out there in the bleachers.
They do whatever he tells them to do. Reed Johnson with a bruised left foot, so you were right on it. Fouled the ball off the front foot. Ended up 1 for 2 before being replaced by Fukudome. And with a 7-0 lead, I mean, there are no guarantees, but you feel pretty good about today. And Kosuke getting a few more at bats here against a lefty. Nothing wrong with that. That's one of those deals, lefties versus lefties, that in some cases can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Guys don't get a lot of at-bats in these situations, then they struggle and they don't get more chances. It's drilled to right, but Pence will catch it. I mean, I get why managers look at the numbers and go, well, you know, this guy's hitting 170 or whatever versus lefties. I can't put him out there every day, but I'm sure a lot of guys in that situation would say, well, do it for a month and see if I can improve a little bit.
Well, we've talked about it in the past. A lot of times a manager thinks they're doing a player a favor when you bring him up from the minor leagues and you try to give him that soft landing and make sure you only get him in there against the opposite arm pitcher. When they've been playing against righties and lefties every day of their minor league career, it's not like a new experience. Granted, the pitching is going to be a little better, the stuff's going to be a little better, but that's how you learn how to battle against a guy that throws from the same side that you hit from.
On the other hand, we've talked about platooning, and I don't think it happens enough. Lou has not been shy in terms of platooning guys. You know, Johnson, Fukudome in center, Baker and Fontenot at second. Bobby Cox never afraid to do that. Well, you put 2 guys together with really good numbers against the other side in terms of a pitcher. You add up those numbers and you have one really good offensive player.
The key ingredient to that particular formula is the ego of the players involved. You have to give yourself to the team concept and understand that as much as I want to play every day, we're a better team when I share that position with somebody else.
And it's always harder for the right-handed batter because you always face fewer left-handed starters. Terrio walks to keep the inning alive. Lee with a sac fly. He's actually flied to right both times, but drove in a run the first time. Pedro Martinez threw 59 pitches in a bullpen session at the AAA, and could be ready to pitch for Lehigh Valley as early as Friday. And if all continues to progress well, he could be back in the big leagues with the Phillies next week. So they could get Cliff Lee and Pedro Martinez into their rotation.
I think Cliff Lee is going to make a little bigger splash than Pedro Martinez at this stage of their respective careers. Cliff Lee coming off the American League Cy Young Award, and Pedro just trying to salvage his career.
Pedro's next defeat will be his 100th. 99 career losses. Got to give you the wins. Can't just give you the losses. Future first ballot Hall of Famer. Let's see. 214 wins, 99 losses. The thing about Pedro, he was putting up mid-60s type ERAs in a very different era from the mid-60s during the so-called steroid era. Pretty remarkable. In the American League, no less. That'll be fair. Kicks off the side wall. Terrio scores. It's a double for Derek. Just fair. Down the right field line. 8-0.
Once again, because there's 2 outs in the inning, Ryan Terrio able to get a break on contact from our Southwest Sky Cam. That ball dunked right down inside the chalk down the right field line, and because Terrio was running on contact, he scored easily all the way from first base.
They will intentionally walk Ramirez and face Bradley instead. Thought we might see the newest Astro up in their bullpen, Bud Norris, one of their top prospects. It would be his major league debut. Well, Mike Hampton has been around a long time, and he's a competitor, and I'm sure he would pitch as long as Cecil Cooper would let him today, even if he continues to give up runs. But you know, Cooper doesn't want to let Hampton give up 11 or 12 runs. That's always a very dicey situation with a starting pitcher when you need to get innings. Swing and a miss by Bradley on a changeup. Not the same Mike Hampton that Astros fans saw back in the late 90s. One year he won 22 games.
Well, not the same stuff, that's for sure. He's the same competitor, as you mentioned. He's a bulldog out there on the mound. He's lost quite a bit off of his fastball. He tries to rely on guile and command at this stage of his career, and needs to be really fine with his command.
Bradley lines into right. Derek Lee's going to be sent. Going to be a play here, and nope, Blum won't throw it. Derek was not even to third base when Pence came up with that throw, but he bounced it to Blum, the cutoff man, and it's now 9-0.
Derek Lee was still so far away from home plate. I'm not so sure if Jeff Blum lets this ball go on a 2 or 3 or 4 hops. They may still have a play on Derek Lee at the plate. Of course, Jeff Blum has a much better line on that throw than we do up here in the press box, but at least the timing of it looked like it was going to beat Derek Lee to the plate.
A homer and a strikeout for Soriano. 19th homer of the year, 3-run shot, 48 RBIs. He's really settled in nicely in the 6th spot. All this started after 2 were out. A walk to Terrio, an RBI double by Lee. Ramirez was intentionally walked, and then Bradley smacked an RBI hit into right. Inside. The end of the bat as he pops it in the left. Lee is underneath, and that's the inning. Cubs get 2 and now lead 9-0 after 4. Now time for the 5th inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules. Rodriguez catching career game number 2,252 this afternoon, number 1 all time. One of 27 players all time with 300 homers and a 300 career batting average. Right at 300 in terms of his average. Terrio throws across. And Rodriguez is 0 for the series. 0 for 10. Matsui with one of their 2 hits. Out of play. Interesting to see if the Brewers make a deal. They're 2 under. Still very much in this thing, 4.5 out, but they have not played well lately. They've lost their last 3 in a row, including 2 to the team with the worst record in baseball, the Washington Nationals. At home, no less. Second to last in the league in ERA, ahead of only Washington. And served into left, a base hit for Matsui. He's 2 for 2.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Switch hitting Matt Cada will bat for Mike Hampton. A very rocky afternoon. 4 innings. 9 runs. We will see the major league debut. Bud Norris. Well, by far a season high in runs allowed for Mr. Hampton. Previous high was 5. Also by far the most runs he's given up against the Cubs in his career. You know, Bob, it's hard to give up 9 or 10 runs. And the reason is usually you don't even get a chance to give up that many. You get taken out. But Cecil Cooper really didn't have that luxury early on. Terrio, Lee, 3-6-3. They do it the hard way, and that ends the inning. Halfway home, all Cubs in game 3, 9-0.
playing the House of Blues August 21st, brought to you by Bud Light. Tickets are available exclusively at Ticketmaster.com. The B-52 is August 21st, brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
Major League debut time. Bud Norris, according to Baseball America, Houston's #2 prospect. Bad record, but excellent ERA with AAA Round Rock, leading the PCL in ERA and strikeouts, 4th in innings pitched. Started the AAA All-Star game for the PCL. And he gets a swing and a miss from Jeff Baker on a mid-90s heater. 6th round pick in 2006 out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Well, we know he has a fastball. We've seen that twice already. Also supposed to have a really good curveball back in prior to the 08 season. Said to have the best curveball among the Astros minor leaguers by Baseball America. From Northern California, went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Big guy, 6 foot, about 200 pounds.
An infield pop-up, and Matsui will catch it to get Baker. We are email accessible. Len and Bob at chicagonow.com. You can also tweet us. Twitter.com/Len and Bob. Hill turns around, bats lefty. Ball 1. .96 that time. Morris is 24 years old. You said he's really put together. 6 feet tall, but 195 pounds and pretty thick in the middle.
Average better than a strikeout per inning pitched everywhere he pitched in the minor leagues. In 07 in A-ball of Lexington, a 2-8 record, a 4.75 ERA, but 117 strikeouts in only 96 innings pitched.
That's his first career strikeout.
For the Astros, the most important thing is he's here, he has a pulse, and he can throw today. It's come to that after the first 2 games of this series. Cecil Cooper's had to go through a whole can of bullpen.
Low to Randy Wells. What a year Randy has had. Wasn't really on the radar. We knew about him. He pitched briefly last September. Had that stress fracture in his forearm right at the end of the year after 3 scoreless relief appearances. Remember, he made an appearance with the Blue Jays after being a Rule 5 pick. Then he was offered back to the Cubs, and they're thrilled they got him back. He extends the inning by walking, bringing up Fukudome.
You know, and we've talked a lot about Randy Wells' poise out there on the mound. Even when he gets into some jams, sometimes it doesn't seem to rattle him. And not only that, but very early on here in his career, he's handled success very well, and that's an important thing for a young player too. Yeah, you can have that first taste of success at the major league level, and as Lou says, get all giggly and start to think that things are going to be all roses, and the game isn't set up to work that way. I think Randy takes the good with the bad. He understands that it's all about consistency and repeating your performance time and time again.
One thing we can assure you of, the adjective giggly does not and will not ever apply to Randy Wells, and that's a compliment.
Yeah,
I mean he's very laid back. Nothing seems to bother him. Doesn't get too high, too low. Took him a long time to get that first win, and he's in a nice stretch, winning 6 of 7. Just outside. In terms of temperament, well, one guy I might compare him to, and we've compared him to some Cardinal pitchers because he grew up in Belleville, Illinois, following the Cardinals, but Chris Carpenter. Never see much in terms of the change of facial expressions on the face of Chris Carpenter.
The thing that I've really grown to love about Randy Wells is his consistency with his delivery. You hear pitching coaches talking about repeat your mechanics, repeating your mechanics, pitch after pitch after pitch, and Randy seems to be as consistent as anybody the Cubs have on the staff right now. Seems to throw every pitch out of the same arm slot with the same delivery. That makes it so tough for the hitter to discern one pitch from another.
Well, the 3-2 on the way to Fukudome fouls it back. There's a nice player profile on minorleaguebaseball.com of Randy Wells. It was earlier this year when he was with Iowa. And they just ask him, you know, favorite whatever, off the field, on the field, favorite style of music, country. His favorite team, the Bears.
The Bears.
His hobbies, golf, catching a live concert, poker.
That might explain the poker face out there on the mound.
Best baseball moment. Randy talks about being called up last September pitching a game at Busch Stadium. His 93-year-old grandmother saw her first game with Randy Wells in uniform. His hidden talent, impressions. He says he can mimic anyone. We've heard that in terms of the pitching windup. Norris with 2 strikeouts in his first major league inning. Gave up the walk, but no runs. We'll head off to the 6th. 9-0 Cubs. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. Very rough afternoon for Mike Hampton. Began with a 6-run first. Randy Wells shutting him out through 5 on just 3 hits. Big homers by Soriano and Ramirez early. Cup fans everywhere enjoying this one. All right, high five. Top of the order for Houston. Just to finish up the Randy Wells profile on minorleaguebaseball.com. Would you rather be in the Hall of Fame or win the World Series? He says, at this point in my career, it's all about a World Series ring. Good answer. If I could have a superpower, it would be X-ray vision. You'd pick that one too, I know. Best advice you've ever received: to throw strikes or go home. Ooh, that's a good one.
Cut to the chase.
I know the best advice you've ever received. Yes, dear.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Four walks.
Didn't help me play the game any better, but it certainly made my personal life a lot easier.
Second walk given up by Wells. Kind of take away that stolen base in this spot with a 9-0 lead. Michael Bourne with 37 steals on the year. What's the best baseball advice you've ever received?
We had an infield instructor with the San Francisco Giants when I was coming up through the minor league system that made a big impression on me. He said, you're going to run into a lot of players that are faster than you. They're bigger, they're stronger, they throw better, they hit better, but you can hustle as good as anybody. There's no reason for not hustling when you're on the field, and that's something everybody can do. And when you have marginal skills, that hustle sometimes makes the difference between making a roster or going home.
This is twisting foul.
Plus, it's such a great feeling, you know, when you hit that routine ground ball to the second baseman, and you know, instead of throwing your bat and throwing your helmet and jogging down the first baseline, take out your anger running down that first baseline and have somebody bobble the ball momentarily and you beat it out at first base. Yeah, not only do you get great personal satisfaction from that, but the fans realize that you're out there giving it everything you got all the time. And I hit a lot of routine ground balls to the second baseman.
Two to Keppinger. Wells ready. The kick and the pitch.
Randy Wells a little more focused on the pitches he's throwing to Jeff Keppinger in this ball game tonight. The first 2 games of this series, Keppinger was just kind of cherry picking that first pitch fastball and hitting line drives all over Wrigley Field. But they've started him off with some breaking balls. They've changed speeds on him today, moved the ball in and out, up and down.
Full count, 3-2. There's Doc Adams. Cubs team doctors on 2 phones.
Is he talking to himself? Hope he gets the right diagnosis in the right phone.
I got in trouble. I wished Doc a happy birthday. What did I say? 70 something?
70 something.
Yeah. think he's over 65. Some colorful hats.
That makes me thirsty for a margarita.
The hat does.
Yeah.
They will get 2 for the 3rd time. Let's see, 4-6-3, 3-6-3, and this one's 6-4-3.
Double plays are always deflating for the offensive ball club, but especially when you're trailing by 9 runs in the game and you feel like you may have a little something going offensively with the middle of your lineup coming up, and then bang, 6-4-3, clear the bases.
1-0 to Tejada. Wells has given up 3 hits, 2 walks, but all the hits have been singles. He faced a couple batters above the minimum. Terrio down to one knee, now up, lots of time. That's it. 5.5 in the books. Cubs 9, Astros nothing. Street and the many rooftops. Thank you so much.
I wondered why you bought those colored markers after the game last night. How's it going, partner?
Brian Terrio with a rainbow in the center. Michael Bourne, 1 out. Derek Lee coming up. Pretty good breaking ball there from Bud Norris.
Short, sharp slider. Mid-80s. Yeah, a lot of veteran hitters love to face a guy like Bud Norris. He's got a real good fastball. We documented earlier. Best fastball in the minor league organization. And a lot of times those rookies come to the major leagues liking their fastball, and experienced hitters will take advantage of that.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see a lot of Bud Norris maybe as early as next year in their rotation. They've got some veterans in their rotation. Called strike 3. Guys like Hampton and Moeller and Ortiz. So at some point they're going to be getting a lot younger. Maybe not that young, but
well, we want him in the Cubs rotation.
Inside to Ramirez. The Cubs scored in double digits 2 times before Ramos got hurt. Never did reach 10 runs in a game with him on the DL for 50 games. Since he's come back, they've done it 2 times, and another run will be 3. But he lines out, and that's a quick 1-2-3 frame for Norris, who's gone 2 scoreless in his MLB debut.
Gaga with Poker Face. Today's Bud Light Fan Cam with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability.
Nice segue as Randy Wells is dealing today, and Carlos Lee flies out to Milton Bradley. We're in the 7th, 1 out. Oscar-nominated actor, Chicago native Terrence Howard will conduct the 7th inning stretch. He had a little fun with mommy's mascara, lipstick. Long pulls it foul. Wells in the mid-80s in terms of his pitch count. I don't think Lou will let him go too long with a huge lead. Save those bullets for his next start. Guessing this is probably his last inning. Blomwent did not like the call by Jerry Davis. Still barking at him. 2 down. That's a first strikeout of the day for Randy Wells. A lot of contact today. Well, you know what Blum's mad about? I mean, obviously he didn't think he swung at it, but most batters want that home plate umpire to ask, in that case, the third base umpire, not just make the call.
And when you see the umpire point at the bat as he's making the call, that's an indication that it was on the swing and not the fact that the pitch was in the strike zone. And you're right, that's the one that hitters get upset about. You got another set of eyes down there at third base. Why not use them?
Still only 3 hits for the visitors. We've seen Randy Wells at his best today, and that's saying a lot. In his first 14 starts, 10 have been quality outings. So today could be 11 out of 15. Just outside.
A little hop to the right that time by Randy Wells. I think he had a called strike 3 there on Hunter Pence, but Jerry Davis said it was just a little off the outside corner.
Floated out into right and a base hit. Here comes Pudge Rodriguez. Last night the Cubs had their 5-game winning streak come to a close. And a win today would be 10 of 13 coming out of the break, 12 of 16 overall. They'll play game 100 of the season tomorrow. Pop into center. Fukudome using his bare hand to shade his eyes. Time to sing the stretch with Terrence Howard.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game is actor and Chicago native Terrence Howard.
All right, fans, let me hear you. A 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back, 'cause it's root for the Cubs. If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
9-0 Cubs. Terrence Howard
Yeah.
back home and not only conducted the stretch but threw out the ceremonial first pitch today.
Yeah, I think it was all right.
Yeah,
I'm glad
so far you're 2 for 2. You threw a good first pitch. You sang the 7th inning stretch. Great.
Yeah, I think we're 9-0 now, so it's something incredible. Yeah.
Well, you did a great job with the stretch. You're a singer. I mean, you can hear it.
No, I'm a scaredy cat.
You didn't sound like it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That was amazing.
Quite a rush, isn't it?
Yeah, you see everybody waiting for you to start, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen? Is it going to come off? And the first note always comes off wrong, and then you're trying to catch it.
Well, like we said, though, you had a lot of help. 40,000 backing singers.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. I will treasure this the rest of my life.
Milton Bradley against Bud Norris. We're in the 7th, 9-0 Cubs. So you're in town. It's the 2009 National Urban League Conference.
Yes, indeed. We're doing it at the Field Museum, you know, just trying to raise awareness of this continued struggle everybody's having as human beings to be better people. It's kind of neat. Yeah. Tracy Ross, Diana Ross's daughter, will be there hosting it with me. I think it's kind of it's special.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, just off the outside corner. You're a self-taught musician. Well, we know you can sing. You play the piano and the guitar, and
yeah, guitar more than anything. I always wanted to be a pitcher, though. And it's so weird to throw that pitch in and be so far off base.
That's out in the left center for Bradley. Oh, and man, he's going to take an extra base as Bourne overran it. It's a base running by Bradley.
It's a hard day for Houston.
And the Cubs jumped all over him. 6 runs in the first inning. That'll be a single and an error.
Good hustle by Milton Bradley. Dunked that little base hit into left center field and ran hard down the first base line, which gave him the opportunity to go to second base when Bourne bobbled it out in left center field.
Here's Jake Fox batting for Soriano. He hit a 3-run homer in the first inning. Alfonso went 1 for 3. Big swing and a miss. And a pretty good slider from the rookie Norris.
That's a nice pitch.
Terrence was nominated for an Oscar for his role as DJ in Hustle and Flow. And speaking of your musical talents, oh, that got away from Rodriguez. And now runner at third with nobody out. It's a wild pitch. What was it like working with Jamie Foxx on Ray?
Now, Jamie was incredible. I told him the very first day if he kept that up, he was going to get that Oscar that day. You know, I've been really impressed with him, you know, from his beginnings, you know, and he's a great athlete also. He plays a hell of a game of baseball, too.
Well, he was unbelievable in that movie.
Yeah, he really was. I'm waiting for him to get a second chance up there. Ooh.
Good rip by Jake Fox. 1 and 2.
I wonder how much that affects you from the first pitch, you know, to when you're down like that. Do you get the strength to keep pushing it, or do you give up? Because I don't know if Houston has given up. I hope they haven't.
Well, Bob would be the person to ask. Former all-star catcher and manager. That's behind Fox.
Yeah, he's nervous.
Well, to answer your question, you never give up, but sometimes you have to be a realist. And you understand that, boy, this might be tough to win this game today, and it may affect how you use your relief pitchers out of the bullpen. We've talked about that with Cecil Cooper and the Astros here in the first 2.5 games of this series. When you fall behind a lot of runs early, sometimes somebody just has to take one for the team. One of the pitchers just has to go out there and eat up innings no matter whether he's effective or not.
Yeah, got to stay in the game.
Bradley probably could have scored. It's still an RBI chance for Fox. Kick in the pitch. That's low. 3 and 2.
The view from up here is incredible.
It's pretty nice. And we're up here obviously every day, but you never get used to it. You know, you're always in awe of the view from the top Wrigley Field, especially on a day like this. Just ideal.
You know, Terrence, we were talking earlier up here about advice that we received at some point in our career. Your grandmother was a big assist to your acting career. Is that correct?
Stage actress.
Yeah.
Minnie Gentry. She told me these 5 W's, and I guess it applies to any field: who, what, when, where, why. If you have that figured out, you're in a great place. And I think the Astros need to figure out who, what, when, where, why right now.
I think that means a lot to everybody's career to have somebody to lean on, somebody to give you advice, maybe somebody that's been down that road before and can maybe smooth over some of the speed bumps.
That's the better part of this business.
Pence is going to catch it. Bradley's going to tag, and the Cubs get their 10th run.
It looks like a shutout.
So it's 10-0.
But we're all passing the baton as we go along in this game. You just can't try and hold on to it too long. And that's why I think we keep our advice to ourselves until we're ready to pass.
Well, I was
going to
ask you, you know, you're in a very competitive business, but you make friends over time. I think a lot of it comes down to having confidence in yourself, right?
Well,
and when you have confidence in yourself, you're maybe more able to give to other people.
Yeah,
right?
and you got to stop sometimes trying to be the leading man. You know, you work up from supporting to being a leading man, and then you have to move into the next phase of it. You know, you go into producing, go into directing. You've got to be ready to graduate. You can't just be a player. You have to become a coach or a manager. You have to be ready and willing to stay in the game until the completion of it. And then hopefully you make it to the Hall of Fame.
Right. Saw Billy Williams, Cubs Hall of Famer, who was in Cooperstown, just got back, and watched the induction ceremony, the speeches, Jim Rice and Ricky Henderson. Billy got to catch up with a lot of old friends.
Yeah.
We were in Cooperstown, Terrence, last year. The Cubs and Padres in the final Hall of Fame game. It got rained out, but it was neat just to be there, if even for a few hours. I don't know if you've ever been there. As Jeff Baker hits this ball deep to left, and Carlos Lee's going to have to, I guess, just look at it in the vines. Puts his hands up, and Baker will end up with a double, assuming the umpires can verify that that ball is not lying on the track. But I don't see it, and neither does Carlos. It's a double. And what's going to happen later this summer is somebody else is going to hit a ball in that same area, and 2 balls are going to come out. We had that happen earlier on the homestand.
I think a pack of robins, might have grabbed that ball right there, and they're sitting on it now, and about to hatch it for next year.
Drive to left by Jeff Baker. Looked like it had a chance to get out of here. Comes up just a little bit short. Hits right in the middle of the wall out there, and Carlos Lee takes a look around, doesn't see it, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do as an outfielder here at Wrigley if you lose the ball in the vines.
Coy Hill with 1 out and a runner at second. So anyway, Cooperstown, I don't know if you've ever been, but it is literally in the middle of nowhere, but a very peaceful setting, and it's all about baseball.
Yeah, that's what's beautiful about America. I just came back from Italy, and as beautiful as that place was, I was just mentioning to my fiance that you can't even imagine something more pristine and American than this right here.
Baker's going to hold up, and a subtle thing, Bob, that Mike Quaddy probably could have sent Jeff Baker, but you're up 10-0. It's one of those unwritten rules here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, you want to show respect to your opponent. As Terrence said, it's been a rough day here for the Astros today. It would have been very easy to send Jeff Baker on home, but Mike Quaddy has a lot of respect not only for the Astros but for the game itself. The only guy that really suffers in that equation is Coy Hill, who may have lost an RBI right there, but Coy understands what's going on.
Yeah, it's better for the morale to keep it going.
Randy Wells is going to bat and stay in. Nobody up in the bullpen. 7 shutout innings. So he'll have a chance to get it at least through 8. as he pops it up behind first, along with the catch in foul territory. Are you an Eagles fan? Someone mentioned that to us.
Yeah, I live in Philadelphia now.
Okay, well that would make sense then.
So I got to actually narrate back to baseball, and narrate the World Series this year. And I was really proud of Cole and
Sure.
the rest of the Phillies. Felt like I was kind of cheating on them to come back home.
Well, we like you better in a Cubs uniform.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Like I said, it's nice to get home sometimes. It's been a long time since I've been away.
Well, it's been reported that Cliff Lee is headed to the Phillies.
I think that might happen.
Yeah, so that's a pretty significant move for the defending world champs.
Well, I'm just hoping that they're able to keep that momentum that they gained from last year, because oftentimes you win one and then you'll go down, you'll shy away for the next few years, which really breaks the team.
Hard to repeat.
0-2 to Fukudome. Go down to third, but no swing. Brian Gorman down there.
You guys got the greatest job in the world.
Don't tell everybody, Terrence. We want to keep that a secret.
Swing and a miss. Terrence Howard, Chicago native. Let's make sure it's not the only time you sing the stretch. You did a great job. Come on back. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Playing left after pinch hitting for Soriano. Micah Hoffpower is going to play first and bat third. Straight up for D. Lee. Same for Blanco. It's short for Terrier. And Randy Wells into the eighth against Kaz Matsui. 10-0 Cubs. That's out of play on the Cubs dugout. A pitch. Base hit through the hole on the left side.
Well, it's that time, Len. It's time to look at today's AM/PM player of the game. Well, guess who? Randy Wells. Just a string of great starts this season, possibly his best today, given the fact that the team scored a lot of runs for him early, and he has still shut down this Astros offense. Randy Wells, today's AM/PM player of the game. Too much good stuff.
Jason Michaels is 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter in the series. He bats for Bud Norris, who threw the ball pretty well. He gave up a run in 3 innings in his major league debut. No, we have no idea how good Bud Norris is going to be in the major leagues. A lot of times you look back and you go, oh yeah, I remember seeing this guy. Major league debut. Not hit hard, but oh, a barehanded play, and Hoffpauir couldn't pick it. Blanco took the barehanded toss, but Hoffpauir couldn't dig it out of the dirt on the relay throw. That would have been a highlight reel play.
You know, Andres Blanco is a highlight reel waiting to happen. Every time that ball's put into play on the ground, you may see something fantastic. I didn't think there was any chance for the Cubs to turn that double play, and if Micah Hoffpauir is able to pick that low throw out of the dirt, it turns into a relatively easy double play.
Glances off the glove of Wells, so 2 double play opportunities by the boards. It's a single for Bourne.
From our Southwest Skycam, you can see this play develop. If Randy Wells makes the play right there, no question that's an easy 1-6-3 double play, but hit off the thumb of his glove. It's about as emotional as you'll see Randy Wells get out there on the mound. He's very upset with himself he didn't make that play.
Might see another big league debut today. Mitch Atkins up in the Cubs pen. There are 2 sides to it anytime a player makes his major league debut. First of all, he's in the book forever. He's on that list. What, about 16,000 and counting of guys who have appeared at this level. Some go on to pitch or play for 22, 23 years. Others get 1 or 2 at bats, maybe a handful of games. That's it. You just never know. I think about Adam Greenberg, who took the first pitch of his major league career basically off the helmet and has not gotten back here since. Keppinger with a fly ball. Fukudome went back, now has to come in and has it. Throw to second's going to be late, as Michaels got back in time. Tejada with 2 on and 2 down. Not going to put you on the spot and ask you to come up with names of guys you either managed or coached or played with who you saw and thought, oh, this guy's going to be an all-star. And they petered out after half a season or maybe 1 year.
And a lot of guys that I saw in the minor leagues that I felt were good enough to play at the big league level, but because of a log jam at their position or a nagging injury or something that kept them from playing at their full potential. And a lot of guys never reach the major leagues that have the ability, in my opinion, to be good big league players. It happens all the time in every organization. And then you've got that common issue where a guy reaches the big leagues and feels like, okay, I accomplished what I set out to do. That old cliche, it's one thing to get there, it's another thing to stay there. As you think about all the guys that are sitting in minor league baseball right now, all the guys that are going to sign after the draft in June, all the high school players, everybody that wants your job. And you've got to play at a very high level consistently in order to keep that job. So just getting here is not enough.
Struck well, but right at Blanco, and he'll get the out at second base. Randy Wells with 8 shutout innings today. Getting a great ovation. Career high innings pitched. Jason Michael stays in and plays left after pinch hitting. Jeff Blum goes from first to short. And how about Carlos Lee is now playing first base for the first time since 1999 when he was with the White Sox. Made 4 starts at first base 10 years ago. And this is the first time he's been at first since his rookie year. He's played left his entire career, save for 5 games and 4 starts at first. That's deep to right off the bat of Andres Blanco. Fair ball home run. 11-0. Showing some pop. That's his first major league home run. Nice going, Andres.
Well, we didn't think it would be possible to hit a home run that direction today, but Blanco did it the right way. A line drive right down that first base line. It looked like it hit the foul pole, our Southwest airline. How far did it fly? 370 feet. Congratulations to Andres Blanco.
Pat on the back from Ryan Terrio. Doug Brocale doing the pitching. He just came off the DL. He had a strained hamstring. Went on the DL in early May. So 3 times already in the second half the Cubs have been in double digits. Hoffpower pulls one into right. That gets past Pence. Micah running hard. He's going to try for a triple. Those long strides. He's safe. First career triple for Hoffpower. A lot of firsts.
I didn't know Micah Hoffbauer had it in him. Spanked that ball down into the right field corner. Just does get under the glove of Hunter Pence all the way to the wall. You mentioned those long strides. He covers a lot of ground in a few steps and goes into third with a triple.
Fontenot pinch hits for Ramirez. Both managers starting to empty the benches.
Well, in Lou's case and the Cubs, this will officially empty the bench. Mike Fontenot was the last position player available for the Cubs. Cesar Cooper still has his backup catcher Humberto Quintero available. Also Chris Coast, a catcher first baseman.
Fontenot wearing sunglasses at the plate. I don't recall him doing that prior to this at bat. I could be wrong. He have been before. Looks like a new look. Roqueo with a 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. A homer, a triple, and a walk to start the 8th. Carlos Lee told Cecil Cooper, "I'd like to stay in the game, but give me a little bit of a break from the bleacher fans." That's about as far away as you can get from the left field bleachers while still remaining in first base.
He just doesn't want to have as far to run to his position between innings.
Oh, 1 pitch to Bradley is hit foul. Paid crowd 41,538. Oh, 2 pitch. Bradley grounds foul wide of first. Milton with 2 hits, an RBI, a walk, 2 runs. As we talked about early, the first inning was interesting because all 9 Cubs contributed to that inning. I mean, you could make a case Randy Wells' sac bunt didn't lead to a run, but every at bat 1 through 9 was a productive at bat. Reed Johnson made the final out of the inning, but he led off the inning with a single. And they scored 6 times. Looks like they all go to the same hairstylist. Jake Fox on deck. Astros got 11 last night. Cubs scoring that many times today. Excellent chance for some more. Another 0-2. Low 1-2. been a while for Doug Brocale. Almost 3 months since he last pitched in the majors. Hamstring injury put him on the DL for a long time. That's foul, bouncing over Micah Hoffpower. We're in the 5th inning in San Francisco. Pirates and Giants scoreless. Duke and Kane on the mound. Broke his bat, and Lee catches it for the out. Bradley can't believe it. Nice catch by Carlos Lee.
Fortunately, everybody okay. That looked like extra bases down into the right field corner as well, but Caballo shows some hops down there at first base. Went up to snare that line drive.
Still first and 3rd with 1 out. Fox with a sac fly in the 7th. And a floater into center, base hit, Hoffpower in. 12-0.
Jake Fox joining the hit parade, driving in a run. He also drove in a run back in the 7th inning with a sacrifice fly to right field. Jake is slowly developing into one of those guys. He just finds a way to get runners on the plate, whether they be at second base or third base. Consistent run producer.
Three RBIs in his 38th game. 1-1 to Baker. It's good exercise for your triceps, right? Pence, and it's the center fielder. Cub fans, Len and Bob's baseball blog has joined Chicago Now. From now on, you can find the same great content from Len and Bob's blog at chicagonow.com/Len and Bob, as well as WGNTV.com. I have a post today on the blog about the bullpen situation for both teams. We have the Gary Meyer rendition of the 7th inning stretch from last night. Game notes from Stats Inc. Much more. WGNTV.com or ChicagoNow.com. Script foul by Coy Hill. Checked his swing as he bounces to Matsui, and that's it. In the 8th inning, they tack on 2 more, and we will go to the 9th. Right-hander Mitch Atkins will make his major league debut. It's 12-0. right-hander Mitch Atkins will pitch at this level for the first time. Kept hearing his name in spring training about a guy we might see as a fill-in starter this year at this level, but it's been a rough year at AAA Iowa. 6'3", 230, 7th round pick in 2004. He's from Browns Summit, North Carolina. 23 years old. Deep breath.
Yeah, Atkins really kind of put himself on the Cubs' radar back in '06. He had a 13-win season with a 2.41 ERA in Single-A Peoria. Came back to win 8 games in Daytona the next year. Well, as you said, it's been a little bit of a rough go this season for Mitch.
One strike to Lee. Ground ball. Got under the glove of Baker. That'll be an error on Jeff. Second error of the day for the Cubs. Trying to complete what would be only their 3rd shutout of the year. Cubs have been shut out 8 times. They have 2 of their own. Well, see if Atkins can get another double play ball. Wells got 3 of them. Breaking ball, strike.
I talked to Mitch this morning. He features a fastball, curveball, slider, and a cutter. He doesn't really throw a legitimate changeup. He'll change speeds on his curveball from time to time, but basically a power pitcher.
One pops it up, foul territory, and 4 rows back. This one is playable for Hill. 1 out. Bob, how difficult is it? You look at it from the Astros perspective to, give a quality at bat. A real quality at bat late in a 12-0 blowout. And I don't mean a good swing on a pitch, but you don't go out of your strike zone. Is it hard? Do some guys, I wouldn't say give up an at bat, but try to get an at bat over maybe faster than usual, swing for the fences, do things you normally wouldn't do?
Well, it's been known to happen, but this is where you kind of have to get a little selfish. Realistically, a very slim chance the Astros are going to come back and win this ball game, but ultimately at the end of the season, players are going to be judged by their numbers.
This should do it. It'll go 6-3 on the double play. Cubs win. And Mitch Atkins with a scoreless inning in his major league debut. Randy Wells' season high, career high 8 shutout innings, and they win it 12-0.